160! Fire control radar! 160!
HMS Prince of Wales
All positions on anti-tank!
is Britain's largest and most advanced warship. I'm JJ Chalmers, former Royal Marines Commando.
How impressive is that? Amazing.
And in October 2025, I was given unprecedented access
If you can keep up.
to join her on deployment,
Is dangerous. There's no two ways about it.
alongside a group of other warships,
We are going inside the weapon engagement zone.
at a time of increased international tension. I'll be living alongside 1,600 people
This is all right. Making myself at home already.
who call this massive warship their home.
Copy. Where's the tomorrows?
Never gets old. It'll never, ever, ever get old.
As I join them on the most dangerous mission of their lives.
We're going to a pretty dangerous place.
You will see a fear factor.
Prepare for action! Prepare for action! Prepare for action!
Brace, brace, brace!
Brace, brace, brace!
For the last 5 months, HMS Prince of Wales has been on deployment in some of the most challenging waters in the world.
Cheers, drives.
I've come to the port of Goa in India to join the UK's biggest and most powerful warship. HMS Prince of Wales.
This is on a scale like nothing I've ever seen before.
This aircraft carrier is the Royal Navy's flagship.
Look at her. Wow. It's fully kitted up.
Home to cutting-edge jets, multiple different types of helicopters, an arsenal of advanced weaponry, and over 1,600 sailors.
This is Delta Alpha, fireball, feet dry.
I'm joining the crew for what I've been told will be the most dangerous leg of their mission so far. But first, I've got to get on board.
JJ,
Hello, sir.
welcome to the HMS Prince of Wales.
Wow, that is impressive when you get up close.
Yeah. Oh, Dickie Davidson, by the way. I'm your point guy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're going to take care of me?
I will look after you, I promise. What we need to do, though, is we need to get you signed up.
Like the rest of the crew, Lieutenant Dickie Davidson has already been away from home for the last 5 months.
Down here we go.
Into the belly.
Yeah, 5 ever going down too.
Giving him plenty of time to get to know the ship's maze of corridors and compartments.
Temperature change straight away, which is perfect.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So what we'll do now is I'll just show you through the ship, I'll show you where you're sleeping. I mean, that's the main thing.
Nice. Man, it all kind of looks the same. You know where you're going?
Hopefully you don't need this, but this is our sick bay.
Right.
Pretty much a hospital.
But make sure I stay out of there.
Yeah, you're going to be staying out there. I hope you stay out there anyway. It's a lot more paperwork. Yeah, to the right there, we've got the ship's control centre. So that is the brains of this place. And then down here, your accommodation.
Right.
Yeah. We are in the warrant officer's accommodation.
Ah.
Now, space on HMS Prince of Wales is at a premium. Some of the crew share sleeping accommodation with 7 other people. So, to be sharing with just one is considered a luxury.
Come to your cabin.
Oh, look at that. This is all right.
It's not bad, is it?
I mean, you can already tell this is someone's home.
It's got to be. The amount of time you spend away from home and these things, you know, you need to be as close to home as possible, and all the stuff that you can get on the walls.
Well-travelled man.
He is. I'll tell you what, JJ, I'll give you some time. I'll meet you in about 10, 15 minutes or so.
Mega. All right, see you in a bit. Thanks a lot, Dickie. Right. I think I'm just going to be living out of this grip. But my son let me borrow his pillow. Just a little bit of home comfort. Look at that. Making myself at home already. All right. Time to go to work.
Roger, cover bearing 155, range 1.6 miles per mile.
The crew have spent the last few days in port, taking on much-needed supplies. Now, though, it's almost time to set sail.
I'll sit and wait.
I'm keen to chat to the man in charge about where we're heading and what dangers lie ahead.
Hey, JJ.
Ah, sir.
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, welcome on board.
Commodore James Blackmore has been leading HMS Prince of Wales and a fleet of ships known as the UK Carrier Strike Group ever since they set sail over 5 months ago.
My position is as commander of the UK Carrier Strike Group that commands the ships, the aircraft, a 65,000-ton aircraft carrier brimming with fifth-generation fighters, protected by a ring of frigates, destroyers, and an outer layer of helicopters and jets. And that's not to be taken lightly. This is not something we're playing around with.
HMS Prince of Wales and the Carrier Strike Group have been as far away as Australia, consolidating ties with Britain's allies. Now, they're about to begin their long journey back home. To get there, they'll have to travel through the Red Sea, one of the most dangerous regions in the world. But before that, they'll first head north towards the mouth of the Gulf. There, within plain sight of Iran, British jets will demonstrate their military might in a huge show of force and send a clear message of deterrence to the Tehran regime.
Let's make no bones about it, it's a conflict zone. I expect people to watch, observe. That's often why we do these. It should say to any malign actors that I have a credible carrier strike group. We're not afraid to use the capability, if ordered to do so, to deliver those effects should I be called upon.
In 2025, Iran made headline news around the world.
Breaking news from the Middle East as Iran launches retaliatory strikes against Israel.
Fighting a 12-day war with Israel.
The conflict between Israel and Iran is now in its 7th day, with both sides continuing missile strikes.
Tehran has been accused of trying to develop nuclear weapons.
The Trump administration has bombed Iran with strikes President Trump claims have obliterated the country's nuclear enrichment facilities.
And sponsoring terror groups across the Middle East.
Iran does have a network of allies across the region. It has a name for it, the Axis of Resistance.
In the next few days, the Commodore will oversee a showcase of Britain's maritime military might right on Iran's doorstep.
Part of my role now is to prepare this carrier strike group to be ready for operations. You'll see the jets launch, you'll see helicopters launch, watching for missiles and uncrewed air systems or UAVs or drones coming from the coastline. You'll see some of the weapons being fired. You will see a fear factor.
What you're saying is we're headed for danger and you need to make sure you're ready for that.
Absolutely, yeah, we are. You've got to prepare for the worst.
So we're good to go now.
With the final preparations complete,
Well, that looks like the last of the lines getting cast off.
HMS Prince of Wales sets sail and charts a course towards the Arabian Gulf.
Tempo, leads ahead, 50. 50.
We are going straight to work on this.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wasting time on our next bit of this operation. We're going to a pretty dangerous place.
Yeah, my navigator.
Right, sir.
Indicate visually we are steady on course and speed.
Roger, sir.
Look at that. Power's just ramped up a wee bit. No, that's us. Full steam ahead. No turning back now.
In less than 36 hours, HMS Prince of Wales and the fleet will arrive off the coast of Iran. HMS Prince of Wales is heading towards the coast of Iran.
Nothing to affect fixed wing.
Load correct paddles.
On the flight deck, jets and helicopters are being prepped for action.
Dolphin 101 ahead, wind ship's head 20, expect 5 spot.
Let's be honest, you know, a lot of people will be thinking about the opening scenes of Top Gun, giving it all that.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much
That's you.
Yeah.
Flight director Cami is responsible for ensuring it's safe for all of these aircraft to fly. But before they can move an inch, there's one vital job to do first.
Before we aviate, we need to make sure that they've sanitised the deck.
Yeah.
So we do what's called a FOD pod.
FOD, that's foreign object.
Foreign object debris. Right.
This check for foreign object debris is to prevent any rubbish on the deck from being sucked into aircraft engines.
So, I basically need to just walk and look down?
Yeah.
Every inch of this 280-metre long deck must be scoured by Cami and his team.
I mean, this is all I was going to say hands on deck, but it's all feet on deck.
Yeah. Anyone who's coming up to work on the flight deck at any point today will come up and do the FOD pods.
Right. Amazing. Mate, do you mind me asking? You got an awesome bit of kit like me.
Yeah, so I was born with mine.
Shit!
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, like, I didn't know that you could join having a disability.
There's nothing that anyone in the ship that can do job-wise that I can't do.
Mate, I'm not going to lie. Got it. Yes!
Don't need a second take on that one.
Never! Never before. That'd been so satisfying.
With the deck clean, preparations for the mission can now begin.
Well, I've been told to climb up to the very top of the tower, find the man in charge.
We'll manoeuvre the ship and then launch these two.
Yeah, good.
Air Commander Ian Chudley is responsible for all the aircraft on board. He's making sure everything's ready for the show of force.
So we have an air trafficker, just like you would normally find at your normal airport.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is where we coordinate everything.
Recover 2 spot.
Black Pearl 2 spot, takes off.
At the moment, we've got about 13 helicopters and 18 jets.
Yeah. So right now, we're doing the sort of the final checks. Yes. Were they green? They approach
Runway departure.
And obviously, you see the news at the moment, so we have to be prepared for every eventuality. And what you're seeing now is proof of that. This is how ready we are. This is the top end of maritime aviation and capability.
Like Roger, retaining permission to fly, show 366 whiskey now and 4.
As preparations ramp up, Ian keeps a close eye on the Iranians. If their forces make a move against HMS Prince of Wales, his aircraft will be the first to react.
Here we go, it's going to get quite loud now.
Here he comes, here he comes.
This is the first time I've ever witnessed a jet landing on an aircraft carrier.
You feel like you could reach out and touch that. That is wild.
That's 1,000 degrees.
1,000 degrees of heat.
Yeah. And 60 seconds later, I can recover another aircraft to that exact same spot.
There's another one coming.
Dolphin 101 ahead, wind ship's head 20, expect 5 spot.
As the preparations continue,
Stop 5. Stop 5. So midship, stay 170.
I'm keen to explore more of the ship.
You all right? Yeah, good.
Big chunk of your life climbing up and down ladders, is it?
Constant.
We're 9 decks down, and we go to 09 deck up, and that's a lot of ladders.
Wow.
The
So
first
wait, sorry, is that 18 floors?
18 floors. I mean, you're going really high towards the top of the mast,
Yeah.
or 09 deck. But the first 2-3 weeks, your leg's not used to it.
Yeah.
Because there's ladders everywhere on the ship.
Wow, all right, so it's that kind of vertical city thing.
Yeah. Everyone's getting ready for food at the moment. 4 meals a day sometimes.
All right, so it's time for food.
It's definitely time for food.
Oh yeah, smell it. That's all right.
It is good food.
Okay, good.
The kitchens on HMS Prince of Wales churn out 4,800 plates of food each day, making them busier than most professional restaurants.
We've got everything we need on here, from medics to our own food to our own gyms. We've got 5 gyms, by the way.
Oh,
yeah,
mega.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We've got our own Wi-Fi throughout the ship. Got our own little mini shop, the Naffy.
Nice. Definitely show me that.
Yeah.
The onboard shop opens twice a day in case the crew run out of day-to-day essentials.
Everything you need. Caffeine, first of all. And then sweeties, biscuits, all the good stuff. What else we got? Ooh, it's like being in an airport, duty-free. Shampoo and conditioner. And obviously it just shows you how long, everyone is out at sea.
Guys, cash only?
Tell me, how long have you been on board for?
2.5 years.
2.5 years?
2.5 years I've been on board.
Sorry. Right, how do you end up on this ship? How does that come about?
I was unhappy with the job that I was in.
Right.
My sister was already on, who's over there.
Hello. No way.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Shingler, so you got her on board?
Yes.
So, like, is this like working at a corner shop, or is it not? No.
No, definitely not. I've done retail for over 30 odd years.
Really?
So really, this is nothing compared to working in a shop. It's totally different. Naffy plays a big part in the ship, so it does.
I've only been exploring for 15 minutes, but inside, this ship feels like a maze of small rooms, full of people quietly but intensely working.
Hello, JJ. Nice to meet you, Sean.
Sean.
This is the stores area.
I'd love to see like the scale of this place.
Deep in the bowels of the ship, I've stumbled upon the main storeroom, crammed full of supplies and spare parts.
Currently on HMS Prince of Wales, we have got roughly 15 storerooms. 15,
Right.
1-5. We have literally got a storeroom just dedicated for bog roll. I think we've got estimated about 87,000 toilet rolls. So it's a fair bit, yeah.
Well, that's a decent allocation per person.
Yeah, I'm hoping that will obviously last for the trip, so yeah, only time will tell, I suppose. If it comes to obviously the bigger stuff, an example could be if a valve had just suddenly gone, then we got one here readily available.
Any idea how much they cost?
They are very expensive. I
sure.
want to say they're probably on the mark of 50,000.
Well, an egg.
We've estimated roughly over 1.8 billion worth of stores on board.
Wow, so let me say that the ship was 3.2 billion. You've got 1.8 billion's worth of kit on it. Not to mention all the jets, all the people. God, it adds up.
Down here, amongst all these supplies,
Tango 1 Zulu, this is 1 Oscar November. Over.
it's easy to forget we're now just 24 hours away from the Gulf, where HMS Prince of Wales will begin military drills in sight of Iran.
How long have you been in the Navy?
21 years.
Jen,
Yeah.
you're not old enough.
No, I know, that's what my mum says. Yeah, I joined the...
Prepare for action, prepare for action. Air threat warning red.
You on pause?
Sorry, what was that?
Out for action taken.
If you can keep up.
Below decks, the crew are making the ship battle ready.
By the hour.
less than 200 miles from Iran.
Prepare for action, prepare for action, prepare for action. Air threat warning red.
The crew of HMS Prince of Wales have been put on high alert.
Sorry, where are you headed?
I'm heading to Fort Delta, my section base, where I take control of the front end of the ship, Zone 1.
1,600 men and women are locking the ship down.
Yeah, I'll go in my little zone now, and then I'll close up on comms. Zone 1, Section Base 1, testing comms.
With information scarce, all I can do is stick with my escort, Lieutenant Dickey.
Right, that tannoy, what was that all about?
So all them zones need to be closed down to ensure that if anything was to happen, we can isolate each zone and fight any battle internally from that zone itself.
Right, so we're in Zone 1 right now?
We're in Zone 1 right now, further into the ship.
Dickey needs to make sure the front section of HMS Prince of Wales is completely secure.
Can you just check the doors?
Hundreds of hatches and doors must be bolted shut.
How are we getting on with closing down? 1, 2, just make sure you can get a count for personnel and also close down the section as quick as you can. Can you go and check 1, 2 and 1, 1, just go and have a look at them, see how they're getting on. DCO, Section Base 1, that's Zone 1, fully mustered and accounted for.
Dickey's compartments are finally secure.
Yeah, I'm reporting in, fully closed up.
Now fully prepared to operate close to Iran in just a few hours' time, the crew are ready for anything.
I don't think the enemy are going to tell us when they're going to try and hit us. So, and it'd be great if they would, because then it'd be easy, but we've got to react to whatever comes.
Yeah.
Knowing the crew are primed for whatever move the enemy might make feels reassuring. But it's also a sobering realization of the risk I'm taking just being here.
That was pretty much everyone arriving at the start line.
I think we'll close up in 25 minutes there, which is pretty quick. Hopefully we never come back to this, but if we do, we do.
I'm nervous and on edge now. Well, what's that?
It's just an Avcat pump.
Okay. It's meant to make that noise.
Yeah, it's meant to make that noise. It's a solo valve.
Nerves shaken, it's time to head to my bunk and get some well-needed rest.
This ship did so much today, and I had the absolute pleasure and privilege of being able to witness it. Everybody is focused on their individual job role, each department, each person, whatever it is, getting sort of ready for action stations, and ultimately they need to be ready for the worst to happen. And so we saw a bit of that today as well. It's also amazing just how quickly things can go from sort of benign. You can be in a shop, you can be at the coffee shop, having some scran, whatever it is, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got to be ready to fight a fire, fight an enemy, you know, ramp things up to the highest level. Definitely going to sleep tonight, and I get a sense that this is how I'm going to feel at the end of every day. All right, heads to Zeds.
Five, 177.
It's 10 knots.
HMS Prince of Wales has arrived at her destination, a region that for the last 12 months has been making headline news around the world.
As the conflict between Israel and Iran continues into a fourth day, there are now warnings about the impact on key shipping routes.
Tensions have simmered in these waters for years.
They're a nation of terror, and we won't put up with it.
The Iranian regime and its military are about to witness the full firepower of HMS Prince of Wales. Below deck, state-of-the-art bombs are being prepared.
Please come in.
Ones that will soon be dropped in full view of the Iranians.
What's happening? Hey, dude, how are you? Pleasure to meet you.
JJ, nice to meet you, man.
Bombs. Bombs, pleasure to meet you.
Bombs?
Bombs, yeah.
Is that what your mum called you?
No, I wish. No, it kind of comes with the job.
Lieutenant Bongaseni Niathi is in charge of building and loading all the bombs being dropped from the jets, hence his nickname.
Welcome to the weapon prep area, or the bomb shop as we call it.
Blooming heck.
So the teams are just getting prepared to build their live weapons.
I'm surprised that this delicate operation of building a bomb would happen at sea. So, I have one burning question. How dangerous is this?
It's dangerous. There's no two ways about it. Dealing with heavy weapons, dealing with munitions is an unsavory job, but we work incredibly hard to make it as safe as possible.
Right, so they're racking something up at the moment?
Correct. So what they're about to do now is lift those bombs off of the trolley and onto the bench itself, making sure that that munition is as safe as possible to be delivered.
Right, so these guys are putting together a smart bomb?
Correct, yeah. Essentially, what makes a smart bomb is the ability to configure it in air, essentially. And you want to minimize collateral damage, and you want a particular target and that one target. The smart guided bomb allows you to do that, essentially.
This technology is cutting edge.
It's Formula One team, isn't it?
Formula One team.
But its assembly depends on some very steady human hands.
Just a little sway there. Every so often, the ship reminds you that you are actually on the ocean.
These weapons will soon be attached to jets and dropped on targets just outside the Gulf. With the carrier now in position, the action is about to begin. First, a wave of jets and helicopters will fly a huge defensive formation. Then, a second wave of jets will take to the skies, loaded with massive lethal bombs, to be dropped in full view of the Tehran regime.
Here he is. Joe.
Hi.
JJ.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Well, look at you, you're getting suited and booted.
Yeah, just about to go flying.
Lieutenant Commander Joe is one of the F-35 pilots flying today's mission.
This is the helmet. It's worth about £300,000, so it's not cheap, but it's a lot of technology packed into one little thing. So it projects onto my visor all my flight information, and no matter where I look in the cockpit, it's presenting all that information to me all the time. So.
For the next hour, Joe will be in charge of a £100 million aircraft, one of the most advanced in the world.
How capable are these things?
Oh, they're phenomenally capable. If I was going to war, I'd want to be in one of these.
With everything now in place, the military show of force is about to begin.
Right, get back up there. Give them help.
What I'm about to witness is highly dangerous. So Flight Deck Safety Officer Cami is joining me.
This red line indicates that you're in a safe area.
Look at that. What a sight! Wow. Can you, that is ridiculous.
In the blink of an eye, Joe is airborne.
It's quite amazing to know who's sat in the seats of the airframes that are going out. Now I'm starting to think about what's actually happening out there, rather than just on here. One more jet.
There's no time to pause to collect my thoughts. More jets are taking off.
How impressive is that? Amazing.
Fully armed Merlin helicopters are also getting airborne.
Cross the threshold 264. Roger, copy, doctor.
Joining the F-35s over the Arabian Sea.
Level 1, bank right. New heading, turning to 80. Converging. Form up on my wing.
On the ship, a second wave of jets are now being prepared. Ones that will drop live weapons to explode in full view of Iran.
Flight level 200.
I'm not allowed on the flight deck when live munitions are being moved around.
2-spot Flyco for green deck, no required for obstacles.
So I'm heading back to Flyco as the bombs are loaded.
These guys here, they're heading for the F-35?
They're heading for the F-35. We're loading everywhere across the deck. That all happens concurrently, so there'll be takeoffs going on, landings going on, whilst we're still weapon loading. What we always try and do is...
Suddenly, there's a problem.
External to Jabba, heading and a flight.
A helicopter is in trouble, and the pilot needs to land immediately.
Yes, I'm gonna have to.
An explosive on the helicopter has malfunctioned, and it could detonate at any moment, putting the helicopter and everyone on the flight deck at risk.
Not gonna lie, this one feels fairly legit.
It's now a race to get the aircraft safely back on deck. HMS Prince of Wales is in the north of the Arabian Sea, in the middle of a demonstration of military might within range of Iran. One of the ship's helicopters has radioed with an emergency.
Right, this is him. Is it a Merlin?
Yeah.
One of its live explosives appears to have jammed, and it must land urgently on a deck filled with bombs.
Procedures. Aircraft lands on. One engineer comes in.
If it detonates unexpectedly, it could set off a huge explosion.
What could go wrong here? The worst case is that there could be a hum flare in the pod, and that could inadvertently go off, which could shoot across the deck.
Several F-35 jets are currently in the air.
External to Jabba, heading and a flight.
But on HMS Prince of Wales, all eyes are now on the Merlin helicopter as it lands.
Clear to land. Roger, copy, doctor.
With the Merlin back on the deck, one brave engineer must now manually check for the source of the fault.
Is this our man?
Yeah, buy that man a drink later.
If the explosive goes off now, the engineer's life is at risk.
Here he comes. Here he goes. Bloody hell, the balls on this guy. Come on.
The engineer has just radioed.
All flares accounted for.
The Merlin is safe.
Great. They've all been accounted for. They've all been released, so there's probably an issue with the actual control system as opposed to being a hung down.
The issue appears to have been a computer glitch on the helicopter, and the danger is over.
Okay, another day in flight care.
Just like that.
I'm going to finish my lunch now. You're okay?
Yeah, you definitely do that. You can't help but in your head just be thinking, you know, we could be minutes away from disaster here, and of all the times for that to happen, they're midway through arming an F-35 over there with 2 absolutely huge pieces of munitions. You know, the sequence of events that could have occurred there is unimaginable.
Without pause for breath,
Get Mike to give them a running takeoff before they swap.
Okay.
the decision is made to launch the final wave of F-35 jets. Armed with huge bombs, this will be the culmination of the military demonstration.
Clear runway, clear departure. Tower launching fixed wing.
Apollo 1-2, roger towers.
So what's getting dropped today?
So the munitions that are getting dropped today pave way for smart guided bomb, and these weapons are incredibly impressive.
Climbing flight level 400.
You can drop them at 50, 60, 70,000 feet in the air, and you can drop them in a square footage that is, I can't disclose the actual size, but it's incredibly small, which means the munitions themselves are incredibly precise.
Target lock.
The UK is about to send a strong message to the Iranians.
Permission to fire.
Oh, here we go. There he is.
As it launches weapons in full view of the regime.
Permission granted. Fire when ready.
There you go. Wow.
Apollo 1-2, flash.
Flash out of bang.
You see it first and then you hear it.
Yeah.
This awesome display of firepower is a stark reminder of just what HMS Prince of Wales and her jets are capable of.
Suppose when you really boil it down, this entire ship is to be able to launch jets.
Correct.
But ultimately drop munitions.
Deliver an effect.
I mean, that's an impressive show of force, right?
Yeah.
But in an ideal world, you don't want to see that used in vain.
The last thing I want is for my job to come to fruition. But unfortunately, we don't live in a world like that. The world we live in now is completely unstable, and having a capability like this makes, again, everyone think twice.
Yeah. Wow. £3.2 billion worth of ship, 1,600 on its crew, capable of getting anywhere in the world and delivering on target.
Apollo 1-2, feet dry.
the bombs dropped, the exercise comes to an end.
Right, pal.
And I'm keen to catch up with Pilot Joe for a debrief.
There's a lot of people in this place, but ultimately the reason they're here is to sort of get jets in the air and get an effect on target, right?
Yes, yeah. 4 jets came in and dropped live weapons, which was pretty cool. So that's what an aircraft carrier is for. So there's 1,600 people on board the ship, and every single one of them, they are contributing to putting jets in the air and bombs on target. That's what we do. Yeah, it's like an F1 team. You know, Lewis Hamilton doesn't drive his Ferrari around the track without the hundreds of people behind him at Ferrari letting him do it. Without everybody doing their job, we can't do our job, and then we don't do the UK's defence job.
With Iran left in little doubt about the firepower of the Royal Navy, I've been told to get some rest ahead of the next phase of the ship's deployment.
Oh, I need to get better at getting up onto this top bunk. Oh, there we are. Another day done. Right. That day felt like a week. You know, I feel like this after a couple of days. It is remarkable to think what everybody must be thinking months and months into this, with several months to go. Definitely going to sleep tonight. All right, heads to Zeds.
Right, let's see if the showers are any good. After a good night's sleep,
Need some water pressure?
I've been told to report early to the ship's lower decks,
Can't watch this bit now.
where I've been assigned to breakfast duty in the ship's galley.
Your arms get a workout in this place.
Crofty, where's the tomatoes? Should be in that one, the ones that are dropped in boiled.
In the ship's galley, a team of 14 chefs are cooking 1,600 breakfasts for the hungry crew.
We've got all our sausage and bacon ready to go in.
Chef Jessie Lee Short has been on shift since 4 a.m.
Of course. I think I need one of these.
Good morning.
Morning, pal. JJ.
Nice to meet you, Jesse.
I've been told to turn to and make myself useful.
All right, well, come and join us. We're just about to start breakfast. Let's get you the chef whites. So some here. Good. And an apron.
Nice, nice. Off to work. Morning, pal.
Morning. What I'll do, I'll give you one of these. You can grab the next tray just below. And then the Grim Panda, it will be hot. So following on with that bacon.
Right, this is a precious cargo. Happy days.
What do.
Right, so how much food are we talking about here? How many bacon, how many sausages, what's the crack?
So with the bacon, we're probably looking about 2,000 rashers, if that's for everyone that's eating. They're hungry people.
No matter where HMS Prince of Wales is, or what danger the crew faces, mealtimes need to run like clockwork.
So we've got 15 minutes, and then people should start coming through. I could probably get onto some of the eggs.
Yeah?
So we'll have to smash out a whole tray, maybe 2 trays into one of these. So I think my personal record, I've used 2 brat pans and had to smash out one of those whole boxes, about 360 eggs within half an hour.
Half an hour.
It's quite a fast-paced job, and I would say hard, but it's in fun as well. You get to have a lot of fun in the place.
When HMS Prince of Wales deploys, it will typically carry 66,000 sausages, 28,800 rashers of bacon, 64,800 eggs, and 12,000 tins of beans, and that's just to cover breakfast.
So you joined to be a chef here?
Yes. My great-granddad was a chef in the Navy. I joined following his footsteps. I'd wanted to since I was 10.
So he travelled the world, did all sorts, did he?
He did a lot, but sadly there wasn't much, because I was 10, I never really asked about it enough.
Your grandfather's not with us, eh?
No, not anymore.
Right, wow. What do you reckon he'd think about this, though? Like, you've actually cracked it.
He would be very proud
Yeah.
of me finally getting in here and actually making it, and well, sort of keeping the family alive with the Navy.
As the crew settle down for their meal, I'm curious about where HMS Prince of Wales is now heading.
Prince of Wales is now officially indicating I'm ready for your approach.
The ship has begun to travel west and is now just a week away from one of the most dangerous stretches of water in the world.
Indicate visually we are steady on course.
On its journey back to the Mediterranean, HMS Prince of Wales will have to pass through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait at the bottom of the Red Sea, home to a prolific terror group. The Houthis are Islamic terrorists backed by Iran.
Already the Houthis had aimed missiles at Israel since October the 7th. Now, using an array of weapons, including missiles and drones, they were taking aim at the Red Sea.
When the recent conflict in Gaza began in 2023, the Houthis began attacking ships in the Red Sea.
These are pictures of its forces actually seizing a ship in November. The Iranian-backed group, which controls most of northern Yemen, has been targeting ships in the area for months.
The Houthis are targeting any ship belonging to Israel or their Western allies. Several vessels have been sunk and dozens of hostages taken.
Houthi attacks in the Red Sea have now turned deadly.
Britain has already sent warships to defend against Houthi attacks.
Royal Navy warship HMS Diamond is in the Red Sea, armed and ready for danger.
But fears are that when the Royal Navy's flagship, HMS Prince of Wales, arrives in the area, it could provoke the terror group into opening fire.
Assess inside CDCM range. Opportunistic attacks on the task group are highly likely.
As they travel towards the Houthis, the crew in the operations room must constantly scour the radar screens for any signs of hostile activity in the Middle East. Something's just been picked up on the radar.
160! Missile! 160!
A missile appears to have been fired somewhere to the north.
Prepare for action, prepare for action, prepare for action. Air threat 1 in red, on action working dress, on anti-flash throughout the ship.
The crew needs to find out where it's heading.
Time on top, 3 minutes.
Positions on anti-flash, even numbers first! Fire control radar! 160!
Deep inside HMS Prince of Wales, the ops room has intelligence that a missile has been fired in the Middle East.
We've got one missile detected.
Right now, it's moving at some pace, let me tell you.
AWO, Commander, thoughts?
It appears to be travelling away from the ship. Commander Tom Leonard is in charge of the team who must keep the crew safe from this kind of attack.
Don't wish to disturb, but what is going on here?
So at the moment, what we've got now is they've detected something up to the northeast. So the idea is to keep things as far away from Prince of Wales as possible.
The ops room has established the missile isn't a danger to HMS Prince of Wales or any of the other warships she's sailing with. But it's a timely reminder of the unsafe region we're approaching.
All threat warnings now yellow, relax, anti-flash, even numbers first!
How aware are you of the fact that you've got thousands of people depending on this small room?
Massively. And I will naturally be worried about every single person on this ship. However, I know that they are highly trained individuals that can turn their hand to pretty much anything. Things change at the drop of a hat. Wednesday, it can be a perfectly benign environment. By Thursday evening, everything's gone to pot.
I'm not going to lie. From a certain angle, this place looks like a movie set. When you look at what they're doing, it's war, and it's on an unbelievable scale. With so much at stake, Commodore James Blackmore must ensure his crew are ready for anything that lies ahead. It's been a treacherous, difficult, challenging environment, but you're heading into a particularly difficult one in the coming week.
It's quite a threat, to be honest. We're going to transit through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Red Sea. It's probably one of the most contested regions of the world right now. We are going inside the weapon engagement zone of a hostile actor. We know the Houthis are capable in what they have in terms of weapon systems. They have ballistic missiles, they have cruise missiles, they have drones, airborne and on the surface as well. And they've shown that they are prepared to use them against both warships and civilian ships. What happens if one of those gets through? What if a cruise missile hits us just below the speed of sound into the side of a ship? You know, people are going to get injured, potentially killed. I'd be lying if it didn't prey on my mind.
With the ship on its way to Houthi territory, for now, the crew grab any downtime they can.
We've got 5 gyms in total. Yeah, it's pretty cool in here.
Like everyone on board, Lieutenant Dickie Davidson is preoccupied with the Houthi threat. How is everybody feeling about what comes next?
You know, we're all switched on at the moment, and it's, you know, everyone's focused, and obviously with that comes stress. But I think it's the right amount of stress that we've got at the moment to prepare us for the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be ready when we go through there.
But do you get nervous when you think of, you know, to the high threat area?
I'm apprehensive about going through there. You never know what's going to happen. You know, it's unstable. But from my time in Iraq and places like that, the training just kicks in. An incident happens, time just slows down, and I've never been so concentrated in my whole life. I mean, potentially there's people's lives in your hands, but it's our job at the end of the day. Yeah. And you wouldn't join the military thinking you'd go to war, but you train for it if you were to go to war. And hopefully this never happens, because it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
War's not good, is it?
There's a genuine tension on board, and it reminds me of how I felt in my own time in service.
We're going to go for 8-ship launch, so 2732 coming out first, so 27 down to the 350, 20.
HMS Prince of Wales is sailing alongside 7 other warships belonging to different nations. In the Red Sea, these ships will circle the Royal Navy flagship, forming a ring of steel to protect from Houthi missiles or drone attack. But the terror group also frequently uses small boats filled with explosives to smash into their maritime targets. The Houthis recently unveiled a remote-controlled drone speedboat capable of carrying 1,500 kilograms of explosives. A threat like this requires specific preparation. Right, climbed right up into the forward tower because this is the bridge. He sat in the big chair, it must be important. Lieutenant Commander Alex Posniak is the navigator on board HMS Prince of Wales and the person in charge of charting the course through the Red Sea.
Hello, boss.
JJ.
JJ, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice
Alex.
What's going on today?
So this morning we're basically practicing a last-ditch effort to save the ship if a contact's managed to make it through. so you don't have a huge amount of reaction time. It could be someone that wishes us harm. Either they might have AK-47s and RPGs in the boat with them, or it could be in a worst-case situation filled with explosives that they're going to try and ram into the side of us.
Right, team, your reactions are paramount now. As soon as you hear that quick draw pipe, you've got the authority to go on that upper deck. The next thing you're going to do is load and stand to on that weapon system.
Leading any lethal reaction is Petty Officer Michael Collins.
I heard a bit of that. What's the crack now?
So the crack is 8 aimers are going to stand to on their weapon systems and wait for command orders from the bridge, which will be directed by myself. Yeah. We're heading into the high threat areas. So this is our last opportunity now to proper test the weapon aimers.
All right, I'll let you get on.
This is the team's last chance to rehearse and make sure they have what it takes to repel a Houthi speedboat attack.
That's Bullet P2, Stud 2, sir. Just waiting for all the other weapon aimers, Stud 2.
A large inflatable buoy, known on board as the Killer Tomato, will serve as the target.
Trying to spot it, that's the first challenge.
Yeah, it's the first challenge, to try and spot that, and then from there we've got about 2 minutes to get onto the weapon systems.
Houthi speedboats cover a mile in less than 90 seconds. So gunners need to be quick and precise to protect HMS Prince of Wales.
Right, all positions. Once the Killer Tomato is in arcs, engage. Weapons free. Take Killer Tomato now, bearing red, 4-5. Engage.
I feel nervous for them because they are being tested to figure out whether they're at the correct level to do this in a genuine situation, and that could be days away.
Get rounds down!
With the Red Sea only a few days away, nobody knows what the next leg of this journey holds. But if my time in the Marines taught me anything, you have to be prepared for the worst.
Flying altering 170.
What's up? Mission stay to 10.
HMS Prince of Wales is heading towards the Red Sea and the dangers of a terror group known as the Houthis.
Take command, stay 090.
And the crew need to be ready for anything.
Dickie said 1200. Okay, let's check my mic. You hearing that? One, two, three.
All around us, preparations are underway to defend the ship.
How are you doing? Commander Ball needs to speak us. He's got some information, please.
But a decision has just been made by the ship's senior officers, and it affects us.
Oh, JJ, hi. I'm afraid that's it for you, guys. That's where you're going to have to get off. Afraid that's the end of the chapter for you. Clearly, the story for what we're going to do is going to continue on, and we'll get on. We're just about to come alongside.
So wait, that's the end?
Yep. And we're going to have to leave you behind. Sorry.
It's been decided that the risk posed by the Houthis has been deemed too severe for us to stay.
Fucking hell. Right, well, listen, we spent a whole week getting ready for that. Like, they're not mucking around.
We're to be taken ashore in Oman, and the ship will continue on without us.
I'm not gonna lie, a bit gutted that I have to go at this stage. I do understand why. Like, they're heading into a high threat area.
It's not just about the danger that can be posed to me and, you know, the camera crew. Like, ultimately, this is about the ship's ability to focus on the task that's at hand. Now, everybody's hoping that nothing happens, but no one knows for certain what lays ahead. And so, you know, ultimate focus, the ultimate preparation that we've seen is what is required. And I'm not going to take it personally.
Before leaving, I'm keen to hear from the Commodore about what will happen after our departure.
What lays ahead?
The Red Sea, Babel-Mended Strait, that's what we've just trained for. You hope that it will be a straightforward sail through, but I need to be ready for the most violent outcome. At a moment's notice, I need this strike group ready to react, and that's within minutes. I'm in no doubt in my mind. You know, if I'm asked to use this and employ it in a combat situation, I will use it without hesitation. I trust the team, I trust the equipment. We are going to deliberately take it inside the weapon engagement zone of hostile actors. Some might argue, go a different way. It's really important, though, that we don't allow somebody to deny us the ability to sail through at a time and place of our choosing. It's an international strait recognised in international law. 90% of our trade to the UK comes via the sea. $286 billion of trade between the Indo-Pacific and Europe. We have a duty to keep those sea lines of communication open because it benefits us back home.
Well, it's been an honour. Thank you for the opportunity.
Not at all.
And honestly, I wish you all the very best in the next leg.
Thank you.
What is it they say? Fair winds, safe
Following
tides?
seas.
That's it, following seas. Amazing.
Brilliant. Thanks
Cheers,
very
boss.
much. Cheers.
It's been an incredible journey on HMS Prince of Wales.
Wow, that is ridiculous.
I've witnessed the sheer might and power that this aircraft carrier can deliver.
There he is. There you go. Wow. Flash out of bang.
I've seen the crew react in the face of a potentially fatal emergency.
Bloody hell, the balls on this guy.
And watched in awe as they prepare to face very real dangers.
If you can keep up.
Prepare for action, prepare for action, prepare for action.
These men and women boast incredible skill and dedication.
How dangerous is this?
It's dangerous. There's no two ways about it.
Ready to tackle any challenge put in front of them.
This is why we train hard, so we can fight easily.
Target locked.
For me, it's an experience I'll never forget.
Thank you. No, thank you. Honestly, pal, it's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure.
Yeah. Take care, mate. All the best.
Take care of yourself. Safe home.
Yeah.
I'll see you in Blighty.
Get off.
Safe journeys. Cheers.
As I leave, I can't help but think that in less than 48 hours, this ship could find itself under Houthi attack.
Right, that's it for me. The next leg of the journey has been deemed a little too dangerous for me to be on board. So I'm heading home. As you can see, they're getting resupplied and ready for the next leg. They don't really know what lies ahead, but I can guarantee you from what I have seen, the Prince of Wales and its crew are ready for anything that could be thrown at them.
Join the crews aboard HMS Duncan and Northumberland in Warship Life at Sea. Stream now on 5. New on Friday at 8, Rob Bell's new series continues building the impossible, like a lighthouse in the unforgiving waters off Shetland. Next tonight, an unforgiving shift in A&E After Dark. Stay with us.